All right, listen, we're live. Hi, everybody. This is RebelRae. I'm the hostess with the mostest. We're here shooting live from Huddle Co-work Space. Y'all can pull that camera up just a little bit because y'all didn't cut my top of my fro off. Now y'all know I'm a 5'10", 6-foot woman. Okay, because I'm looking at the live feed and look like my hair is cut off. Okay. So as long as we're adjusting and we're looking at that and we're doing okay, look at you, Kia. You got up on here. Welcome. Welcome, Quinn. Listen, we're here at the Pruned Tree. Okay, let's talk about the CPT time because
I'm just recovering. I'm in recovery for about 2 years from CP time. I've already apologized to everyone for being late to their events. How's yours going?
Mine is not going too good all the time. The microaggressions are real. People be looking at me and they be really trying to figure out, is she managing it all? Listen, I'm managing it, but I also need a little grace. I need to show myself a little grace. As Black women, we take on a lot. As women, period, we take on a lot. We try to tell ourselves we can manage everything.
We want to do everything. I know I do. And then your bandwidth just starts to go bzz, bzz.
Partnership, bandwidth, trying to be a mama, trying to be an artist, trying to figure out what we're doing. And so we're backstage here at the Huddle. And I'm sorry, we couldn't get on right at 7:00. Shout out to Mayfair Management. Listen, that's our girl.
Yes.
And she's going to stay on top of us and make sure we're doing an excellent job. But I'm feeling the whole Huddle vibe in the background. You know, I like color, this white in the background, talking about artistry.
We need some color back here. We need to make it pop.
Are we going to make
some
it
other
pop?
color besides white?
Are we going to design something together?
Yeah, let's do it.
You
gonna help me paint it? Are you going to help me paint it?
You better shut up, Lion. We got to get Maddie involved, though, because, it's Maddie and Eric's building. So.
Oh, yeah. He totally love it, I'm sure.
Yeah, and they use this for so much swag. So I want to plug my brother's business. They are the co-owners, Maddie, Amen, and Eric. What's Eric's last name? You remember? I want to give him a proper shout out, but they're the owners of Huddle Co-work Space, where we shoot a lot of our studio time. We have our offices. They support Black and brown businesses. And Kia and I have been knowing Maddie. How long you've been knowing Maddie?
Man,
Maddie Amen.
Maddie Amen. I don't even know. Maybe somewhere in the early 2000s.
Early 2000s?
Early 2000s.
I swear y'all went to like high school or something.
No, I went to high school with one of his cousins.
One of his cousins.
Yes.
Okay. So us Stockton girls are, we know everybody. We're connected. Yes. I'm looking for my telephone because people are asking me where to see the YouTube station. And I'm like, just look up the Pruned Tree. Look up the Pruned Tree Podcast. I'll have the marketing team put it in the chat. Please drop it on our Facebook links, marketing team, and Instagram marketing team. And also alert our people, notify our people that we're on live. Listen, you can hit the bells. You could hit the bell right there on the corner of your Facebook and your Instagram and hit follow. You could subscribe to my RebelRae Instagram, or you could follow the Pruned Tree. But I'm always talking about the sophisticated, the beautiful people, the change makers that are in Stockton doing the work. Excuse me, I just had a little bit of Mountain Dew. I'm not supposed to have no Mountain Dew either. I'm not supposed to have Pepsi. I'm not supposed to have a Mountain Dew. And it's crazy because I always keep my water cup and, shout out to Lakeisha. She got this fancy water cup that I got to try to figure out not to leave in the car because people will break in to take the cup.
Take the cup.
They're like, that's a pretty cup. I want that cup. I'm like, I don't even know about the infamous cup. I'm not going to name the name because they're not paying me to endorse them. But everybody wants this cup. And I'm like, what is up with this cup?
You didn't know.
No, I didn't know.
Girl, I don't know either. But
You don't know
so
either?
people who know.
I know this.
They
told me.
know.
And Lakeisha like went to I guess like 4 different Starbucks to find the rose gold cup. So shout out to her.
It's so pretty. I
what
love
friends
rose
do?
gold.
You do?
Yeah.
What's
So
your other
pretty.
favorite colors? Because we're here for you.
Blue. Blue's my other favorite color. Any shade of blue.
Tell me about
Fuchsia.
the blue.
Oh, I don't know. It's just beautiful.
Fuchsia?
Yeah.
Did I hear you say fuchsia?
Yeah.
Because fuchsia is one of mine. I really like it.
It calls to me.
It calls to you?
So, yeah.
So when we talk about healing, let's go to your background, right? I'm always talking about healing, how the arts come through for our organizations, who we are as a people, how we heal as Black and brown people. Tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are. So how you want to introduce yourself. I tell people when y'all come on here to have a conversation with me in the Pruned Tree, I want you to think about how you come. And then I got community church announcements, and then we'll go to the next segment. Is that okay? We vibe and rock today?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. You look scared. Scared. Don't look scared.
Yeah. Okay.
We talk about courageous conversations. People want to know about you, girl. You are tremendous.
I was in my mind, I was thinking of the Beastie Boys. And like, my name is Kia D, and I'm here. And whatever.
Hey, you should have spit that right in the mic. My name is Kia D, and I'm here to say
whatever.
I'm rocking art in a very special way.
All of that.
Like that whole Beastie Boys vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, now
But,
these new millennials, they don't know nothing about no Beastie Boys.
Man.
Now because you dropped that knowledge, you aging yourself.
Yes.
What year were you listening to Beastie Boys? Hold on for a moment.
Oh, man. 8th grade.
Oh, snap. What year was
grade.
that? 8th grade. What year was that?
Was that 84?
Yeah, that's why I was like, these new youngsters or these new radical restorative justice leaders, they don't know nothing about Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Beastie
Oh my
Boys
gosh.
was telling it like it is back in the day with NWA.
Yes, because
Beastie-
we as the Beastie. I remember blasted Beastie Boys in Run DMC when they first came out, and
Run
we'd have our
DMC
cassette
was
tapes
woke.
and just be out in the carport blasting it, roller skating.
Listen, Run DMC was woke.
Yeah,
And I would listen to all of this stuff, and the stuff wasn't. I couldn't keep this in the house, right? Because we were super Christian. So even the conscious rap that we had, the art that was coming out, the truth that was speaking, my parents was like, no, if this is not what Jesus says. So I was sneaking a lot of that stuff into the house and trying to listen to it. Yeah. And so where did you go and get your first Beastie Boys tape? Since you brought it up.
I don't even know if it was mine. It was probably my cousin's. And I used to listen to his. But so I grew up on the South Side, first generation born in Stockton.
Let's go. Ooh, Stockton. Yes. Shout out. We love you.
Yes,
shout out.
Stockton's a good place.
Okay.
Yes. So
speak on it, because a lot of people want to uplift everything else that go on with us as Stocktonians.
We loved it. I love it. It's every place has their bad areas, but so I was born on the South Side of Stockton. My family on my mom's side was farmers. My grandpa was from the Philippines, my grandma was from New Mexico, and they would be traveling to different farms and with the kids, and I
knew that about you.
You did.
I knew that because we shared some work together, and that's why I had this beautiful sarong wrap that I got from a Philippine merchant, but she said it can be used for like Filipino decoration or to wrap your baby in.
It's really pretty.
The work we've done is like for our mothers, but it also has a lot of your pride in it, your brown pride. So I love that. So keep telling me, keep telling us.
So they met and I remember my grandmother telling me, because she's like Spanish and Native American, telling me that she, like other family members, some people had, didn't want her to get married to a Filipino.
Wait, slow that colorism down for a moment.
And her dad was like,
learn us one time.
Who you want.
Marry who you want. So was she a light passing woman?
She was, so I'm talking about my grandmother on my mom's side. She was Spanish.
She was
Native American.
And Native American.
Yeah. And so that was a thing. But
that
her
was
dad
a thing.
said, you marry who you want.
And you marry who you want, ashe. Mm-hmm. And because he allowed for that, acceptance and cultivation of
Yes.
different cultures.
Cultures.
Guess what happened from that fruit? You came, greatness came.
Yes. And my dad is from Alabama.
Ooh, you got a whole bunch of mixed culture going on there. Okay.
And he moved to Stockton when he was like 18, I think, because his dad was already here. Yeah.
And a lot of our fathers and papas had that second implant, and that I call it. Some of our ancestors came over in the Dust Bowl. Some was brought over and was already here when they ran away from the enslavement of indigenous people, people of Southeastern descent, or Eastern Indian descent. It was a lot of things that were happening and coming over, even in the second, third century of like this whole movement in the gold rush. And we saw that after that, like in the 70s and the 80s, our Southeast Asian community came over. And then a lot of different parts from like the Philippines, the Latinos, we all started going into farm labor.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how they ended up in Stockton, because word got out from my grandpa that, there was a lot of work for Filipino farmers in Stockton.
Ashe. And taking us to the Filipino farmers, right? Your rich culture, right?
Yes.
And belief system from your grandfather's side.
Yeah, they did the farm. And my grandfather on the other side, he was in the military. He's like African American from Alabama, and he moved to Stockton. I'm not sure exactly what he did, but I know he used to live in the middle of McKinley Park. He was that guy.
So what year was this? You said he lived in the middle of McKinley Park.
I met him when I was 16, and my brother took me over there, and he was out there working on his car. He used to get stuff out of the dumpster and fix it up.
Wow, he was a tinker. We call that those like people who are artists. They can create things.
He can just fix anything. My sister called him Mr. Fix It.
Mr. Fix It.
And I asked him, I was like, how do you know how to fix everything? And he said, my mom told me, use what you have.
Use what you have. So with that ancestral wisdom, and I'm going to break it down to y'all, because some of y'all have to get past the piece of accepting others and how others use innovation strategies to supply and provide for their family members. And a lot of times that's looked down on people. So I'm going to learn y'all something with the good auntie spirit that I am, and educate y'all. Our Filipino brothers and sisters were actually the one that started the Filipino labor movement. And they did that down with the grapes and other agricultural that they were covering down there in Delano. And y'all don't know about that Delano farm laborers. They was with the business. They were mobilizing Isang Basak. Don't listen. I know about my culture and how to uplift it. And so anytime that the brown people were able to acquire land after they had been pillaged, savagery, colonization down in the Philippines, to come over here, second generation, own some land, till it was very prestigious. We always look at it as that they put us to work, but there were some strategic businessmen, some laborers, some advocates, and some activists also in that Delano farm labor strategy approach to understanding how we even support democracy. We support the ability to feed our families with dignity. So they had to go and make sure they had bathrooms. They had proper working conditions. The fields were not easy fields to tend. So when you tell this story and I connect in that way, I haven't been able to sit down with you, my sister, and let you know you come from importance and lineage.
Thank you. The stories they tell. I mean, my aunts tell me how they used to live in the little houses where you could like see through the slats and see outside. So when they finally got to Stockton, it was their first time and then they, got together with friends and they found property and then they bought 5 acres and they said, we're going to farm it ourselves.
Come on, 5 acres.
And it was just a little 2-room or 3-room farmhouse. And they were like, this is our first house. This is just ours and we don't have to leave. So we're never going to sell it. And we still have it.
And you still have it. So you are an original Southside girl like me.
Yes.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
And I have a little secret. You ready?
Yes, I want to hear.
I actually was born next to the funeral home that we used to run. We were born next to it. I'm an original East Side girl until the age of 3 or 4.
Wow.
Then we moved off of Farmington, Mariposa area in that division. We had to learn how to support our Southeast Asian and brothers coming over. And in the curriculum at SUSD at that time, it was led by other advocates and leaders for cultivation and diversity in education. I remember our principal, Janie B. Reddish. Do you remember Janie B. Reddish?
No.
You don't? Okay. She was the principal of Montezuma. And she really support us learning about our Hmong community and their farming methods. So we have a very rich culture of farming and sacred tillage of the land. And that's where you come from. And then you have that indigenous spirit on top of that you connect to.
My grandmother raised me over there, and she was so cool because, I mean, she had us working on the farm. And kids used to come from I went to Nightingale Elementary School.
Okay, Nightingale. Shout out to my Nightingale babies.
Mrs.
Boom,
Hitt,
boom, boom.
my
Mrs.
kindergarten
Hitt.
teacher. Why do
where
I
you
remember
still
her?
remember?
She was cool.
My kindergarten teacher was Miss Herman from Montezuma.
And you remember her name.
Yeah, that was 90. No, that wasn't 90. That was, 90. 1990, I was in a kindergarten.
Girl, I was in kindergarten. And what
With,
is it? So I was born in 73.
you were born in 73.
So what is that? 78.
78.
I was 78.
You are so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
The black don't crack. Okay.
Where was I? Anyway, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so kids used to come over and like take field trips to our house to see the animals. My grandma would show them how to milk goats.
See, that's what we need again. Like, how do we be connected to the soil like that and like connect with everybody? That's the problem.
It was cool. I was like, "What? Are you guys coming to my house?" And she had gardens. She would grow. The loofahs that they sell in the store.
I've been wanting to grow those in my garden.
I grew up scrubbing with those because my grandma used to grow them in her garden. She would make them. She would flip the thing inside out.
That's why your skin looking good like how it is now, girl.
So when I grew up, my mom couldn't breastfeed me because she was handicapped.
Okay,
so
let's get into that. You jumping ahead.
Look
at you, smart cookie. Listen, I wanted to lead that. So I got to take this conversation back on because you're getting me excited about your sharing. So what led me to you now? Us reconnecting, recreating space in this huddle space. And so I had went to the owner, Maddie, and of course that's our associate and our acquaintance. And Maddie is divinely sent. Shout out to Maddie. He's like, I told him, I said, I had a vision. I saw something beautiful. It was a marker to this room, and this room is supposed to be a design space to help our Black mamas cope with doulas, cope with community health workers, see themselves, know their value, see that they're loved and cared for. And we need to do it in a way that is not super system. It has to be a room that's nurturing. But I wanted some type of piece of art that would help them know you are welcome. You are seen here. We see you. And I was like, what artists do we have? I know we wanted to use a local artist when we're building out the grant. And we're talking about the Birthing Tree the Birthing Tree, is that future the podcast? Okay. The Birthing Tree Community Lactation Room. And so Kia and I put it on, I had the marketing team place it on the Pruned Tree Podcast social media, Facebook. Everything that came out of that event was divinely ordained and aligned.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful event. It was like,
but when I tell you I truly connected with Maddie and said, Maddie, this is the story. Maddie's like, RC, that's what they call me when I work during the day, y'all. So RebelRae actually has a day job. RC, I know a cool artist. She's going to gravitate, get everything that you want for this mural. And she's from South Stockton. I was like, look at God.
There's one over there.
Look at God, right? And then was running down your CV or like your resume or like the what do you call it in the art world?
A resume.
A resume. Running your resume down. I was like, nah, she was the mural for that. Okay, so we showed it in the highlight when we came on, and if you were tuning on or if you're looking at this later, look at the highlight reel. Some of the murals that she has done in that highlight reel. There's one here in Stockton. How many do you have in Stockton, the murals?
Ooh, a few, but yeah. So I have that one that's by the bus station.
You have to talk to people as if they can go looking for it. Okay. So give a description where they're at.
If you're gonna go looking, you could go. You could do your first stop at the Californian Channel, right across from the RTD, on the Julian apartment building. I did a mural there. It's called Plant the Seed. It has the tree. It's for the Universal Basic Income project experiment that Michael Tubbs did. Mm-hmm. And I also have one at the.
Well, when you tell each mural, what is the significance that we need to pay attention to it? Okay.
The mural was significant because it was wanting to promote universal basic income because other countries do it, and it helps people to survive when in this economy when it's bad, and even when it's good. Like some people just need a little extra help, and it's hard.
So you support it.
Yeah, I do.
Because artists are advocates. I don't care what nobody say. We're advocates.
Yes, I support it. And what it was is they were just going to give a certain amount of people an extra, $500?
It was $500, I think, a month.
For like a year
so. So guess who took it and ran with it? Other states. So we tried to do it here in Stockton. It was something transformative and revolutionary. A lot of conservatives was like, we don't like it, but it was a forward millennial, like Michael Tubbs, a millennial forward thinker who actually brought the concept over, had funders interested, and attempted to do it and couldn't get the support.
I think people, like a lot of people were they misunderstood. And so it made them not like it. Like they were like, you could do other things with the city's money. It wasn't even the city's money.
It wasn't even the city's money.
It was other people.
It was philanthropic dollars.
Yeah, like one of the guys who founded Facebook, I met him. He came and we walked over and looked at it. And he was telling his friends about all these people who he knew he gathered up wanted to donate and be a part of the experiment because they think it's a good idea. And
it was a beautiful pilot. And now we could have really used it because let me tell you what $500 could do. For everybody.
But why did right after that, then COVID happened and everybody needed pandemic money.
The pandemic money. Nobody didn't want to tell the truth.
Universal based income. And that's basically what we got for 3 years, 2 years.
Listen, nobody want to talk about it. Nobody want to give credit. It really happened. But now we're here. We got to think about strategies on how to keep the movement and keep it going and keep people transformed. And have that critical thinking element on how to create synergy. Now, you do that through your art. Tell me the next mural. So you got that mural over there that we could check out. What's the next one?
The next one I did one at, I think it was back in 2012 at the Children's Home of Stockton.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's probably about maybe 10 foot by 10 foot.
Okay.
It's not really big.
It's not really huge. Okay.
Yeah, and you have to be on the campus to see it. So I think you could maybe see it from the parking lot.
Okay. And what does that do? What is that of?
That is of a adult bringing a child in need to the children's home.
Wow.
And walking them in with their arm around them.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful queen.
Yeah, and that was, though, I didn't make that one up. It was a photograph that the director of the children's home had put together. And yes, because that's the message he wanted to send. And he was a really cool guy. And he was a lover of art.
Wow. What was his name?
Michael Phelps, like the swimmer. He was really cool. I mean, he was such a great guy.
Shout out to Michael Phelps. Did he pass away?
He passed away about maybe a year after I did that.
Okay.
And he was such a nice. He invited me over to his home, and his wife had us over. He was telling us about all the fundraisers he used to do at his property back in Murata, and he was,
he was so enthused about keeping those philanthropic dollars towards where he most wanted his heart's desire to support at-risk children. And the children's home has been around for what now 100 and something years, and like one of the oldest institutions for children here in Stockton. And so those are the profound pieces. And what was one more other profound piece you want to just kind of bring up for people to kind of, figure out
okay, let me back up. Like, I just gotta say, and I probably said this before to you, that the one that's on Channel in California, the universal basic income one, I got contacted by the American Embassy in Beijing, China, because they liked the message.
Wow.
And they wanted to hang it outside on their building in a show with a few other artists from America who do street art.
Yes,
and
that do street art.
Yeah, and I didn't believe them.
You didn't believe
it was them.
Oh my God.
I was like, the lady messaged me and I said, who's your boss?
Who's your boss?
Tell your boss to email me.
Because we don't got time for scammers or jokes or.
So I got an email from her boss from the American Embassy in China, and I was like, oh,
that's big.
Okay. So my bad, is real.
So now it just got real. It just got surreal. I am now international.
Yeah. I was God. Whoa. And all my friends were like, are you going to go see it? And I was like, oh, maybe. I don't know.
You fly over there.
Yeah, I didn't go. It was up for a while. I sent in. It was awesome.
We have, I don't know if we're still coming in. We have a little delay that's happening on our digital screen. Are we doing okay? Okay. So it might be just my screen here that we're watching. But I want to make sure that we're capturing all this because I'm super excited about having you here. So this is like how many podcasts have you done?
This is only like my second one.
Your second one. And you chose to be here with me. That speaks a lot.
I told myself this year I was going to embrace the artistic opportunities that came my way. Because a lot of times I'm busy and I can't do it, or maybe I'm just like, I don't feel like I can do it. Sometimes we don't have the confidence or our mood is low. And this year I told myself, you know what? So everything that comes your way this year, just say yes. And then all of a sudden, all these stuff start coming
your way. That's how you manifest, y'all. Accept who you are. Accept your gift. Grow with it. Don't be afraid. I don't know how many times things get in the way of me really fulfilling and pushing the needs that I want to do as an artist on the podcast, having other artists on, having other phenomenal people, change makers, and actually having those courageous conversations.
Yeah, it fuels you, right?
It fuels you.
Yeah.
And you people need to feel inspired right now. It's a lot going on in our economy. For the change makers, it's stressful. We have to figure out transformative ways. We're millennials, so now we're the young elders.
Yeah.
40 and 50-year-olds. I keep telling people.
We're everybody. Everybody's auntie right here.
That's why I be doing the whole auntie spirit. Auntie, how y'all say it in Filipino? Auntie.
Tita.
Tita
Kia.
Tita Kia. Right. And then what's the black way?
Auntie Kia.
Auntie Kia.
Yeah, even all the old ones, they still call me Auntie Kia.
And then, I hear Annie. Hey, Annie, what's good? Depending on like where you're at.
Right, exactly.
In the Americas.
Because they say
ain't. So that's funny how that whole cultural vibe, we do that. So going back to now that brought us together, let's go full circle. You're doing all of this wonderful work. You're making a name for yourself. You really have a tremendous story. I come to you and I pitch to you what my vision was as a leader, how I wanted to make a statement, how I was talking to all of our other family members who are making statements, and we're trying to figure out exactly how to show up as a community and say, our Black mamas are dying.
Right.
Our Black babies are dying. 4 times now the normal rate. It went up, exacerbated the rate in California, the rate in the United States. We see the disparities that we're seeing, and we're trying to fix things. And we're trying to find creative ways. So I created this community lactation space. It's many spaces that could be utilized to connect people to doulas and to CHWs that could support them. I go to Kia, I pitch it to her and I say, Kia, I need an artist that can really captivate. When they come to this place, they see themselves, they see that they're safe. Right? So
Yes.
now that you know a little bit of background of why I picked Kia, tell me how. Just a little bit, because we're going to do an after segment and we're going to show you the actual painting. And Kia is going to walk you through this painting. This painting is phenomenal. I put on the post some of the reactions when you pull the unveiling of this painting. And this painting is so deep, girl.
It is. It really is.
What did we name it? Did we ever name it anything?
Well, I call it the birthing tree.
You call it the birthing tree, just simple.
What I call it.
Because I named the name that.
Yeah.
But that's the painting's name.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think the whole thing represents it, in a whole, like the meaning and the spiritualness behind it. But when you told me about it, it just like excited my soul. I'm like, I want to do this. This sounds great. Even when Maddie told me about it, it sounded good. But then after I talked to you, it just got even more exciting.
Mm-hmm. So this thing evolved. And I want to tell people how amazing you are just for a little bit, if that's okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that.
We ran into some snags. We were trying to figure out how to make it a mobile mural. We didn't know if it was temporary. We didn't know if we wanted to make sure that it transcends or Huddle keeps it. We don't know. So we decided on the approach of using canvas as what do you call it? The technique, or because it wasn't medium. On the wall, it's the like medium. So we used canvas for the medium. And what size are the canvases?
5 foot by 4 foot.
Okay, so altogether it was a 15 foot by 20 mural.
Something crazy,
right?
Yeah,
because it's 5 foot by 4, and we had 3 of them.
Yes.
So 12 foot,
12 foot across, and then 5 foot high,
and 5 foot high. So this thing is massive. It takes up the whole wall. You see it. I had everybody come upstairs. I said, listen, the thing was heavy, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness. It was heavy. I hung it. I didn't tell you this, but I hung it up, and it was so heavy that it the wire stretched.
Oh my God.
And I could see the wire, and I was like, oh, I had to take it down, and then I had to re-stretch it.
You were so dedicated for the grand opening. You were like, we gonna get this to work.
Yes.
And Maddie had like some portrait and arts that he called it like a wall. It was even too heavy for that wall.
Oh yeah. No, we had that wall. He put it on that. I tried to put it on just to see, and the whole thing was like, I had to catch it before
you had to catch it.
Yes.
And you remember I was running around because I was getting everything ready for the grand opening. I wanted everything to be perfect. You know me. And I'm like, kid girl, you okay? You like, yeah. How many hours did it take you to do that painting? Straight. Be honest with me.
I don't know. I could say, what? I don't know. That's a good question. I would work on it. I would wait because I have to have quiet. I'm easily distracted. I might be a little ADD. I don't know.
I am
but
too.
The littlest thing.
But the best artists are.
Okay. So
embrace it.
So I had to wait for everybody to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I would put my earphones on if they're taking too long. And then I would be up till like 3 in the morning.
That's how mommies do it. Y'all like stop playing with me. You are a mommy of 5.
Actually,
okay,
7.
Now 7. Because you're two
grown though.
bonus
I don't
daughters.
really have to do anything for them. They're independent women.
So can we talk about how you didn't gain no weight? First of all, because I'm gonna be flip flopping back to the girl and you.
I don't know.
When I saw her, I was freaking amazed. She was like, "Listen, this calls to me because I breastfed all my babies."
I did.
And she was an advocate because her mama couldn't.
She couldn't breastfeed me, and so my mom, she was a really smart gal, and she like got the perfect on the SAT when she was in high school, and she's a Filipino, mestiza gal.
Okay.
And her counselor.
What does that mean?
That means that you're mixed with Filipino and some other race.
Okay.
Just mixed.
And that's okay for other people to use that language.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
mestiza.
Okay. So what I love about this little story is my mom's in high school, and then her counselor's like, don't even apply for college. Your parents probably can't afford it.
Ooh, wait. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
That's that implicit biases that keep us from excelling. So how did they get over that?
So how did she get over it? When he wasn't in his office, she broke in and she stole the
She's
test.
a rebel.
And then she went and took it and got it perfect. She got it perfect. It was in the newspaper and everything. It got full ride scholarship to any college she wanted to go.
Girl, when I tell you you was forced into greatness, your mama willed that manifestation.
Look.
Do not get in front of my destiny.
Right. And so she started college in San Francisco and she had a stroke, like a brain aneurysm. And then she ended up having to come back home and she was handicapped and a lot of medication. And then she had me. Like she went through, there's a whole bunch in between, but we're keeping it short. And then she couldn't breastfeed me. So my grandma fed me goat milk. So I was raised on goat milk.
I love it. We were all hail to the goat milk that now made the goat.
Stop! Oh, I'm so dead.
Y'all, that good goat milk. She had that good human milk. But that good goat milk now manifested a goat. You better stop playing with me. You better know who you are.
Me and my cousin Nick, we both were raised on goat milk.
Come on.
His mom couldn't breastfeed either.
Come on, cousin Nick. And that's that good love that you have from a grandmother that know how to think on her feet.
She's old school. She's like, I'm not buying formula.
Come on.
I'm on the farm.
That's
I got
right.
these goats.
Come on. I didn't feed my baby no formula. And that's not no knock, y'all.
No.
When RebelRae get to talking and I get to preaching up here, it ain't no knock. But we have to advocate for breast milk. We have to advocate what's best for our babies and our mamas. Breastfeeding supports both our mamas and our babies in so many different ways. And I'm going to have, as our next guest, the founders of Flourishing Families next. But this is a whole movement. Right? That's why it's so important to talk about this in this way. Now, when we talk about that, how it brings us to what you chose to put in this mural. So break that down, like what you chose to put in this particular mural.
So when Maddie said it was going to be 3 canvases, I thought, oh, wow, okay.
I'm going to ask my backstory team who's monitoring the chat, if you can drop in the actual feed, an actual picture. I think I have it on the Facebook where we can look at it and it's Kia standing next to the mural. If you could drop that in the chat while we're talking, while we wait on that, Kia. Mm-hmm. I would love to really just thank you. I was stressed. I ain't gonna lie. What? I was like, the vision that I saw, Maddie was stressed because he was like, RC, I get you, but what you did in that schematic and what you was trying to download didn't look nothing like, but you caught the concept, girl. When I tell you you're freaking amazing.
I thought about it hard and long, and like my subconscious every day was thinking about it. Like, you know, driving and it's planning. Like,
and I only told you the specs. So let's talk about the specs of things that we wanted to highlight. Marketing team, are we able to get that up and going? Okay, while they work on that, let's talk about the little details you caught on to make this vision plain. Because I purposely didn't want to see the piece. And
I love that you did. Because look,
I was like, I want to pay for it as Edie, but I want to be surprised with everybody because I trust the universe. I trust you. I trust Maddie. Okay. The partnership. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes. And you know, you trusted me. That means a lot in so many different ways, because normally when people are like, you could do whatever you want, I get really self-conscious, and sometimes, sometimes it's crippling, and I gotta like talk myself out of it. So yeah, like you go through stages as artists, you know. So I'm like telling myself, don't be like that anymore.
Okay.
So
you growing.
Yeah. And look, I'm 50 and I'm still trying to talk myself into being confident. So
this is what the Pruned Tree is about.
So I'm like, okay, she said I can do whatever I want. I'm gonna be comfortable, and I'm not gonna let it like cripple me this time.
Yeah.
So I was just always thinking about
Okay, so did it come up? Put it on the 2-way, put us in, put it larger and put us in a smaller frame. Okay, boom. Okay, they switched the whole vibe. I love it. Now, the viewers are listening to me. If you're viewing this and you're also listening, we got to describe it for people who are just listening as well. We can put it on the frame next to us in a 2-center frame. That's fine. Shout out to StreamYard. We use StreamYard software. It's great for small podcasts, for people who are just learning and starting out. Hopefully that's an endorsement that comes with perks. Shout out for Mayfair management team. Shout out to the real queen of the Philippines. Don't get it messed up. Miss Philippines herself, Mayfair Management. If you're looking for a managing company, I'm utilizing Mayfair Management. So I'm always plugging my small businesses. So when we saw that, and I don't know if we're going to get that back up or not. When we saw this mural, I'm still trying to figure out how to hang it so it doesn't have like the separation.
Oh, yeah.
We'll figure it out. We'll get it really mounted. But it is such a beautiful mural. Now, what really, when I cried, I cried on the inside because I was all just trying to look after everything. But after I settled down, I looked at the mural. I still was just in amazement. Like, how did you take everything I was talking about, what I saw in the vision, but also what other people told me they would like when we were building the mural out? And some of the other partners and Flourishing Families, Tamisha, shout out to Vina, shout out to a lot of the others, Rihanna Wyatt, people to Christina Batista, Naja Steger, and please forgive me if I, didn't get your name, Erica Dorsey. We discussed what we wanted, and it was really Melita Bell that actually named the room, because we were thinking about the room in partnership, and she was like, that's a birthing tree, because she's a doula, and she follows Kim and our real rites of passage African indigenous teachings. And a birthing tree is exactly what you made it. So tell me about your research on a birthing tree.
Well, so I was taking all the information you gave me and thinking about, it focusing on women and women's health and, the mortality of mothers and having support and the power of a community and doulas and, midwives. And then I thought, birthing tree, wait a minute, what is a birthing tree? And then I was like, I should Google that. Okay. And I Googled it, and did a little bit of research. I did a little research, and I thought, this is like so beautiful and touching what it is. When I learned that, they burned out the middle of the tree and made it to a room so that you could have shelter from, to have your baby, or shelter from the sun, or shelter from the rain. Wow.
To labor with Mother Nature and Gaia. Everyone else we know.
And and it made me think of the giving tree, because it's like a giving tree, the birthing tree, but it's like way more. Yes. And the spiritualness of it. Because gosh, you're in this portal thing, and then a baby is coming out.
Woo! Okay, so to the left of the screen, am I looking at it the correct way? To the left of this screen, you see the universe, and you can make it bigger now. I'm gonna narrate. So when Kia unveiled this to everybody, we had about I think about 100 people here at the grand opening and unveiling. She really zeroed on, it started in a 3-part process almost, or a 2-part process. And it developed. You remember what you were telling me, how it just evolved? Yeah. The colors, because I wanted those colors that are in the prune tree actually to be the colors in the mural. And you made that happen.
But I didn't even know that.
You didn't know it? I didn't. I told you, I said, look at the room.
We walked through it, but yeah, I think I forgot.
So the royalty of that purple, that speaks universal vibes already. It's so higher conscious, and it also, the indigenous, that could be anywhere. That could be, you learned about it in Australia.
Yeah. It could be, there's a birthing tree here in Tennessee, I believe.
Wow.
Then I was reading that like pioneers would stop there that were crossing coming west, and they would have their babies in there, or they would just take a break.
And they would just take a break.
Yeah.
So you see our elder mother.
Yes.
And did you use yourself for the imagery? Mm-mm. I swear that woman coming out of the birthing tree looked like an ancestor of yours.
Yeah, I just did it on accident on purpose. I don't know.
He was channeling.
But look,
he was channeling. You had an answer. That was a real ancestor. I looked at that baby in that woman. I said, Lord have mercy. I know her, right? We've seen her before.
I was trying to give the feminine energy from the beginning to the end of the painting. So with the universe and having a feminine energy and going like so deep into where you see like the nebulas, that's where it's supposed to be, and the stars that are being born and the galaxies being created, and the clouds, they make like a female figure. It does. Now you intentionally did that. What method did you use? Now you know who I used to watch as a kid. Bob Ross. Yeah. You know that was every little I watched him too. I love Bob Ross.
You better stop playing. That was every little kid. And I didn't grow up in the hood around this, but everybody knew about Bob Ross. He was super cool. If you watch PBS, and he was super chill. He taught you how to do the tree. So your tree method on like how I didn't use the palette knife like Bob does. So so we know the medium is canvas. It's canvas with acrylic on canvas, acrylic paint. Okay. Yeah, so that's a latex paint. It dries pretty quick and it's very durable. Yeah, the colors though, they dry darker. Some of the colors, they'll dry 2 shades darker. Some of them dry like 1 shade darker. So when you're painting, you got to think about that because it doesn't come out looking how you pictured it in your head or how it looks like when it's wet. Okay. That's the thing about acrylic. It's tricky. It is tricky. Mm-hmm. So I tried acrylic on different stuff and kind of like played with art. I'm not as expert as you. I do a lot of abstract. The Lady in the Universe is something I would just have in my bedroom. Okay. Because I'm that queen. It looked like some universal spirit that drove creation and it grew in her womb. When you highlighted the womb like that, I said, when they dropped that canvas and revealed it to us, I said, this lady been here before. How did she get out of my mind? Look, check this out. I'm like looking at pictures, looking at reference, the deepest, and I see this picture of this nebula, and I'm like, that looks like a womb. No, you didn't. That's an actual nebula. Yes. Why you didn't drop that at the unveiling? I think we were so that's what happened. Overexcited. Maddie's like, why don't you talk about the painting first? Like we'll unveil it and then you talk about it and then and then we'll be done. And I was like, how about we just I go just unveil it first and then I'll talk about it later. Or I think you want to talk about it first and then you guys see it. That's that art. But I felt like if you guys if the minute you would see it, I wouldn't be able to talk about it anymore because everybody might start talking. And that's what happened. Some people started crying. You see my face, I was just stuck like, I cannot believe this. So like let me tell you, when I was doing yes, I still like stuff. When I was doing the painting of the universe. Yeah. I painted I textured the canvases. I used heavy gesso. I taught my daughter how to stamp the canvases and sand them and then started putting the underpaintings on. And I'm like, I want to make this cloud shape a woman. I guess it'd be really hard to do. How do I do it? And it'd be subtle and all this stuff. And I've done this before on one of my other paintings. Yeah. But only one time before. And I was like, I know how to do it. You know how to do it. I know how to do it. It was so subtle. I do it. I painted myself and laid on the canvas. I know you did. It was the body proportions were too real. It made me feel like some miniature woman portion. You must have traced it some kind of way and did the outline. No, you dabbed it the whole entire. No, I just put paint on me and I laid on it. And that's what I'm talking about. Y'all not ready. And I put my robe on and I ran into the shower. That's what I said. Are y'all looking at me right now? You a badass. I'm bucket naked. Yes, that was so dope. That's crazy. You really used your mode. Yeah. That's why I was looking at that. I said, that looked like a real portion women because everybody
But I
can't
had
always.
to because I I was posed,
You
so
had to
I had to
pose.
like I had to when I was
Because
painting
she's pulling from the universe, like
Yeah,
she's pulling
so
down.
so it all didn't transfer the right way, so I had to like add a little bit around one of the boobs because it was only like half of one.
It didn't transfer.
Yeah, it wouldn't
You're
read
freaking
right.
amazing. Oh my god, I wouldn't have known that.
But I did it in like this dark aqua color, so it's the background color. So then I did highlight clouds over it, and then just kind of built it.
Listen, y'all can't even have the painting. Maddie, we're gonna have to talk about it. This is amazing.
But look, check this out. So I was telling
that was some Da Vinci stuff. Not to compare you, you're Kia Duras-Carter. You're gonna know that name in every household, okay? You heard it the first time here, the background story on how she got that mural going. Go ahead.
So when I was telling one of the ladies in the purple jacket,
yes.
I was like, guess what? I said I laid in it, and then she was up to talking about how many women have died unnecessarily in children, right? And I told her about how I jumped, I put my like acrid purple and I laid on it, jumped off, threw my robe on, ran and jumped in the shower, and by the time I got to the shower, it dried a totally different color.
Wow.
It looked like dark red. So I told her when I put the shower on and it ran off, like the bottom of the shower was just red, like I was standing in like
girl, you know dark, you're gonna have to do red. You know, you're gonna have to do a photo shoot about that because that's powerful.
And she said that's like the blood of all the women and children who died unnecessarily. And I thought,
look how you channeled
it
that
was
message.
it because it was.
You gonna see us. Girl, you are a part of the universe. We do matter.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, so you gotta stop. I'm about to speak in tongues here. How we got that epiphany. That's who you are. You not only have been ordained to use your art to transcend, to heal, to bring people, to bring the good messaging. That's why I wanted to have you on the podcast. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
I am very happy to acknowledge your talent. For so many times, Black women, brown women, our stories are not being told of the epiphanies, how we lead our people into advocacy and also loving ourselves in the process and understanding our gifts and how our gifts transcend. How powerful are you, Queen?
Girl. Understanding your gifts. That's the thing, that part right there. Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the way you chose to depict that womb, and then the colors and the energy transcend into the branches of the tree.
Yes.
Girl, you better stop playing with me.
Okay, because the universe, the planets get created and the stars, and then Earth gets created, and then we're on Earth, and then people are here, and then the woman's here, and
you take care of the woman.
Yeah.
You take care of that womb. See, Queen Afua talks about healing your womb. And I always talk about Queen Afua, the sacred woman. A lot of times we don't even go back to those teachings, but a lot of the trauma, a lot of the stress that we carry as women, even connected to how we carry our male babies, how we bond, how we breastfeed, how we've been told lies that does not heal our body. I've talked to my friend, and she was telling about how powerful the mural was for her and the movement, and how they didn't even engage in the hospital. They put a set a can of milk on her when she birthed that baby.
See?
And said, use this milk.
Wow.
We have everything we need in our bodies. We got to heal our bodies, y'all.
Yes.
I want to thank you for coming on. We are at our time, but before we go, I told you I had some tea.
Uh-oh.
That I had to drop with you. It's good tea.
Ooh,
it helps me. It helps me to know are we got a screen right now? Are we getting video feed?
No,
we're good.
We have people backstage.
Oh, we got people backstage. They telling me.
Oh, cool.
You better stop playing with me. I'm gonna save mine then. Go ahead and bring them people backstage on. I want to see who it is. Let me put my glasses on.
Hello.
Oh my God, who is this? Who is this? Bring them backstage so I can see them online. What? It's the queen.
Whatever. I've been listening to you guys, and you guys are
Miss Philippines. Mayfair. Velasco. Did I say it correctly, Queen?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Listen, this is the Queen. She is from Australia. She ran for Miss Philippines. You better tell them who you are first, and then we're going to get to your relationship.
First and foremost, I am a proud cousin of this beautiful woman that's sitting right next to you. She inspires me so much. And, you know, of course, she grew up with my better half, who is right here, wants to say hello to you too.
Say hi. Baby.
Stockton in the house. What's up, B Street? What's up, Kevin?
Let's go, B Street. Let's go, B Street.
South Avenue, Ash Street, Carpenter Street.
Route Avenue.
13th Street.
13th Street. Let's go. Oh my God. This is
So,
crazy.
this guy, he always
Montezuma's Little League?
Yeah, he played on the Navajos. I played on the Mohawks.
Hey, let's
I was
go.
the only girl on the Mohawks, Montezuma.
Oh my
She
God.
did all the
Except
boy
my
stuff
friend Eva, she
with
was the
me.
other girl.
What year was that on the South Side? Where did y'all play?
Early
What park?
80s. Early 80s.
Kennedy Park.
Kennedy Park was popping like that with a Little League.
Girl, so fun.
That's crazy.
So
Okay.
fun.
We got to revive it. We got to revive Kennedy Park.
Yes.
Listen, they don't even use that baseball diamond like that. You know, I
No,
thought
we
about
had-
doing a
we had
dodgeball
the-
tournament.
That would be fun. There was the major leagues, the minor leagues.
Stop
People,
it.
parents was dedicated.
Paris was dedicated putting their
Yes.
church. We need to do that again on the South Side, y'all. I didn't even know y'all was one of the originals.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. So Mayfair, you on here with Honey. Y'all looking good. What y'all wanna?
what I was gonna say, you know, this guy claims to be an only child, but really, these two are twins. Like they are the ones of the South Side, and
We were always people thought
I
we were brother
knew
and
about-
sister.
yeah.
They used to dress us the same. We used to wear the same clothes. We would go to the same
You wear
school.
boy stuff. I didn't wear no girl stuff.
Yeah, I wore boy stuff.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Yep.
So okay, so is this the Filipino Spaniard side Filipino?
Yeah, mom's side. His
Mestizo?
mom and my mom are sisters.
Dang, that's small world, small
Mhm.
universe.
Exactly.
And so I'm glad that y'all came. What can y'all tell us and really kind of uplift about your sister Kia? I know y'all are super supportive of her, but what can y'all tell our audience members today about Sister Kia?
Dude, this woman right here is like a superhero. I have ever since I met her cousin and I learned about her, and I was like, wow. Before I even had my kids, like I looked up to her, and you know, just very talented. And then we kind of got to know each other, and then we had our own kids together, and then just what she's gone through and the talent that she has. I mean, you see it, RC, like very talented, and at the same time has her own business, an entrepreneur. If you haven't yet, hey guys, follow Solani Skincare, because this woman right here knows everything about Forever Young. As you can see, look, this is a woman with like 5 children, you know, and she looks like she's still 21. What the heck?
Buffet, you speaking about you looking like you 21. I guess
Because I look up to her.
because you got 5 kids too. You better tell them about that beautiful Filipina.
Me, I've had 4 from me, but total emotionally, there's 6 of them. But Kia, she's
And got you-
naturally
Naturally.
from her body. You know what I mean? That's
And had the nerve to put her body on that canvas. So I got to work out every time I go by the canvas. I got to work.
Hey,
I don't even know if Kia told you this, and I don't know, Kia, if I'm putting your business out there, but hey, this woman's a survivor.
yeah, I had
Listen.
cancer.
You had
I had
cancer.
like
Yes.
2 Hodgkin's
Yes.
lymphoma when I was 33. And I was like, you know, you're a mom on the go. I had a baby who was 18 months old. And I thought, I'm just tired because I got 2 other kids. I got 3 kids. And I just started getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier until people were like, you need to go to the doctor. The wind's going to blow you away. Like, what's wrong? And I made
That's
an
something a
appointment.
Filipino auntie would say. The wind gonna blow you away. Okay, go ahead.
And then I made an appointment, but then something inside me was like, because my appointment was like on Wednesday, but Tuesday something inside me was like, just go to the doctor. Just go to the emergency room. So I went and I listened for once, and I dropped my kids off with my aunt, his mom, and I went to the emergency room, and I'm in there, and I go back, and they're questioning me, and I see something that said, if you have chest pains, let them know. And I was like, gosh, I get those sometimes. So I'm like, yeah, I got chest pains. And they x-rayed me, and they came back, and they go, you have a 5-centimeter tumor on your superior vena cava in your chest. That's this big. And we're checking you in right now. And I got admitted, and I was in there for 6 days. I have the scar to prove it. It was supposed to be a biopsy, but I woke up and it was this big, and they still didn't take it out. They couldn't.
Girl,
take it
I thought that was a titty implant that went wrong.
Some people think I have breast cancer. It's not even that.
It wasn't even breast cancer.
No.
But you wear it well.
I thank you. Well, I thought about covering it up with a tattoo, but then I thought,
girl, that's your story.
That shows like that I won the battle because I'm here. You know, It was scary. I had to do 12 weeks of chemo because they had to melt it because they couldn't get it out. I had to do 12 weeks of chemo, and then it was showing up.
It was inside. It was showing up.
So
in your other
here's
organs.
like your vein, and it was wrapped around it, squeezing it shut. So like my face was getting really fat, and my body was getting really skinny because all the blood was. And then it was showing up in other parts. So then I did 12 weeks of chemo, and then my hair fell out, girl. I was bald headed. My fingernails were black.
You was still cute though. You still was cute.
I got used to it. I learned that hair isn't everything, you know.
So
You
did
know
this?
that's
What'd you say?
What did he say?
He said he knows that's right.
He knows that. He doesn't need his either. So yeah,
we didn't even get to that part. We got to your advocacy and breastfeeding. We didn't even get to that part.
And just check it out. I had like 2 more kids afterwards, and they were like, "You probably won't ever have kids again because chemo is going to make you sterile." And I said, "I don't care. I already got 3."
Yeah,
girl. And wait, but why is like after I was done that the same year it happened? And I got finished with all my chemo, and then I had to do the radiation, and now I have to take thyroid pills because my thyroid is burnt from the radiation. But I'm still here, so it's a little small sacrifice. And then, like by a few months later, I was pregnant with my 4th kid.
So hold on, wait a minute, Mafe. Listen, brother, I need to slow this down. I am flabbergasted. Usually, I know what to say on cue.
I see you didn't know this. See, I put it out there to see if Kia was going to voice it out, and she did, and now RC's speechless. That is a miracle.
For making you speechless. It was a lot, girl. It was a lot, you know. I thought to myself, I better live because I got my kids. I don't want anybody else to take care of them but me. So I was praying.
You was fighting.
I was praying and fighting.
You was spiritual warfare.
Girl, on a whole nother level. I took it up like 2-3 notches.
Ashe and amen. Ashe and amen.
I gotta raise my kids.
Come on, the dedication of a mother, the dedication and resiliency of a Filipina ex. What else you identify as?
Blasian
African American.
Yes.
The resiliency is our bloodline. We have to address that. We have to lift our stories.
I dug my heels in and said, I'm gonna make it. And you know, the thing is that it was stage 2, but the doctor said that this is like one of the cancer, like the first cancer that it was ever healed. So if I had cancer, I'd want this one.
So
That's what he said.
That's what he said. Yeah. Because it was more of a higher rate to heal from?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, a higher percentage of survivor. But I still had to go through the full 5 years of, you know, following up, like 4 years of PET scans where they inject you with radiation every time they do that x-ray, and your body's only supposed to take so much radiation a year.
Come on, it'll shock it, especially for a woman your size, petite.
Yeah. So when I learned that, I asked the lady, I was like, is this past my limit? Is there a limit for the, and she was like, yeah, but you'll be okay.
Oh God.
So, but yeah.
But the trust that you had in your doctors.
Yeah.
So
I got a second opinion.
I
went to Stanford and got a second opinion, and I did my radiation at Stanford.
Okay.
I did my chemo in Stockton.
And you did your chemo in Stockton, but you did it more at a progressive hospital that had, you know, understood oncology.
They did, and it's aggressive cancer too.
How did you know to really? And thank you, Mafe, for bringing this up and allowing this courageous conversation right now. How did you know to advocate for yourself, especially as a Blasian? I'm using your words. We know a lot of times our mamas, when they go to tell, you know, their care providers, hey, I'm hurting or something's going on, they're not really being listened to, even though we know our bodies.
Girl, it's all like a blur. That's where my whole community came in my family, because hearing something like that when I thought I had like a head cold, a flu or something, and then they're checking you in, that's too much, you know? And then when the doctors would come, I mean, my family would be there, and I'd have my cousins who come with a notebook and a pencil and a paper and like writing down everything he's saying.
Yes, because that's how you advocate.
Yeah, because when he would leave, and then I didn't remember anything he said.
Okay, so when I used to do medical hospital social work, I told family members, have a trusted family member that you can come in when you come out of these type of surgeries. You need someone who is really listening, that know how to make medical decisions. A lot of times they have a medical decision clause if they need a non-resuscitated clause, or even living wills. When you go into such shock with your body and health-wise, that's one way you can self-advocate as well. So people know what your wishes are. You continue to support and ask for support for your family members. That is your right as a patient. Your patient also is a right, and this is my advocate hat on. You have a right to get a second opinion like he did. So
and I, when I asked for it, because like when because I was in the hospital, and I was getting ready to get out, and they were like, they brought the chemo up to my room at St. Joseph's, and the nurses were like, they never bring chemo up to the patient's room. Why are they bringing it to your room? So I had my first chemo up in my hospital bed.
Interesting. So they treated you first rate.
Yeah,
you would say.
I think they were really worried.
Okay.
They told me that I could have had a stroke, and I could have stroked out because the circulation. And so, yeah. And then he said I could get a second opinion, and I was like a little nervous because I don't want to offend him, but I wanted a second opinion. So I asked for it, and he was so nice. He's like, sure.
And I'm glad that you talked about that, because a lot of times, and Mayfaye, you could chime in here too, as women of color, it's hard to kind of advocate for us, and we don't want to stir up trouble. We're also taught in our Asian families, don't be too much trouble like that. Sometimes even in our Black families or our Latino families, we're being seen as difficult.
Right.
How do you advocate, Mayfaye, just bringing you into the fold in this conversation? How would you say we should show up and advocate? You being a mommy of 4, I'm pretty sure you have stories as well. How do we just show up for our family members? Since you brought that into the fold.
But just be honest. I mean, I know Kia, she is such a strong individual, such a strong woman. And sometimes even me, I'm guilty of it. Like we feel like we can take everything in and not need help. But actually, when you put your hand up and say, hey, I need help, that's actually strength.
Yeah.
Right?
And let me tell you, I never asked anybody for help because I was 33. I'm young. I did everything. Never go to the hospital, never got sick. And then this happened, and I was like,
fed on that good ghost milk, girl.
I wasn't going to get it.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what?
Grandmother's cooking.
Yeah, I think I know what did it to myself, because I was painting and I didn't wear a mask. And all day I breathed in paint, and it was all in my nose and everything, and it felt weird breathing. And after a few days, it kind of went normal, but then it just like this little pain just never went away. And I think, and then when I read the kind of cancer I have, a lot of painters get it.
A lot of painters get it.
Yeah.
So
I should have had a mask on, and I've worn masks in the past, goggles and masks, but I was just careless, and I didn't wear it. I don't know why.
Well, being one with that paint, how you laid on that canvas.
I was spraying it. It was in the air, and I was.
I know, but the way you merge and get connected with your painting, that's probably not in the front of an artist's mind.
Right.
Safety.
Yeah.
And health. So now that was a valuable lesson, and I'm glad you were able to be here on the Pruned Tree. I'm so thankful, Mayfaye. I'm so thankful, brother, for you to be coming on as well and supporting in this way. I appreciate you too, Mayfaye, for helping her lift that story up, because that's what we do here on the Pruned Tree.
Yep.
Share those stories of encouragement and inspiration, and normalize sometimes when you go through traumatic things that you could still be successful.
Yes, because let me tell you, in my mind, it messed with me because I'm like workaholic, go, go, go. And now all of a sudden, I don't want to die. And I was afraid to go. I thought stress kills, obviously.
Yes.
I'm like a walking example. It almost killed me, not resting. And then I was afraid to work too hard. So then I was like only working part-time, and I was, just nervous about, I'm like, I can't go like I normally do. I got to reel it back in and just hold on. Yeah. And it took probably by year 6 of going back to follow-ups of my doctor. He's like,
6 years.
My doctor, girl, I went for follow-ups for like 7 years. He had to tell me, you can stop coming back now. Because I was afraid. I want to die. But he told me, I told him, I was like, gosh, I'm kind of afraid to work like I used to. And he goes, it's okay. It's okay. And once he told me it was okay, then I was okay. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to start speeding up again slowly.
And I think that's why we're also going into community health work, is because that's the problem. Sometimes we have so much trauma, or we have like our cultural belief systems. Sometimes we don't really know who to trust when you're stressed out with a new diagnosis like that. You need that real-time community resources, connectedness to your doctor and your nurses, and the advocacy. And that's where our doulas come in, our community health workers with mommy issues, things that are going on with your body that we could connect to. And that's what we're seeing in our health plan systems, as well as any work that we're trying to do in the community for our people. To decrease those disparities that we're seeing. So thank you, Kia, for sharing that. Thank you, Ms. Faye. And we're gonna let you go. I want to make sure do we have anybody else backstage? Thank you, Ms. Faye. I appreciate you. So Kia, we are way over time, but I want to tell you how universe comes full circle. I told you I had a surprise. Somebody inboxed me today, a very good friend of mine. And she just blatantly laid it out there. Oh, and by the way, and I said, this is familiar, how she just dropped the gym, walked away and like smirked. And then I looked at the face when she said it. And I was like, I told Kia I seen her before. I told her I seen her around. I know who she is. I feel like we resonated in the same universal path before the universe brought us back together to do this work. Guess who dropped in my inbox? This is how small the universe is.
I need to know.
Your sister Tara.
I was gonna say my sister Tara.
Shout out to Tara.
That's the only person I know that to look at you. And by the way, you are.
Listen. Shout out to Tara Howard. We will have her on some kind of way. She had to go to church. And it was like last minute.
Oh,
but she did. She told me she talked to you.
Yeah, but I got home from work and I was like, I'm tired. She's like, all right, go to bed.
She had a tremendous story as well. Tremendous story as well.
She does.
But for you, I know you all share the same dad. Mm-hmm. And I kept saying, I know your face. I know how your eyes twinkle and light up. This right here, how you smile, all of this. Yeah, y'all have the same. Oh my God. I said, the universe, why are you so small? I knew that good spirit when I knew it, because let me tell you how I know Tara. Tara and I went to the same fundamental church that we got saved at. Oh. And so she was there with her daughter and also her son at the time. And these are the older. Yeah. And I've been knowing her now for about 25 years.
Oh my gosh.
How do we resonate in the same family and then find each other again? That's crazy.
I know. And I don't know.
And she has such good things to say about you, how she's proud of you. Aww. She wanted me to shout out to her. And if she got a chance,
she's sweet.
She's hecka sweet. I sent her the link so she can watch the podcast. But she wanted to let you know that she loves you, that she is very proud of you. When she saw the podcast flyer that we were advertising, that she was super surprised and slid in my DM so fast, like, oh yeah, Kia, that's my sister. I was like, that's what like how we connect. You just never know good people. Of course, she's an extension of you. She's a great person. She has a tremendous story. So I wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. Oh my God.
It was funny how it came about. But people, you are making an impact. That's all I want to say. In those days when you feel like your art is not being looked at, it is. Your sacrifice for going through cancer wasn't for nothing.
I had to move out of my house, everything, because I couldn't work. And my ex-husband, he couldn't pay the bills by himself. And it was hard.
You gave so much.
I had to say to and I was like, gosh, I asked my doctor, could I go back to work? And he was like, well, you could, but I don't know if I would, but you could if you really want to. And I had to say to myself, now, do I want to risk dying? Or do I want to let all this material stuff go and just tell myself I'll have it all back in 5 years, 6 years? So I thought to myself, you know what? I need to live to raise my kids.
Come on, Queen.
So I call up everybody. I say, if you want your car, you can come get it. Or you gonna work with me or come get it. We'll say bye to the house, say bye to everything, and I'm just gonna buckle down and get better and tell myself my plan 5-6 years, whatever, everything that I lost, I'm gonna have it all back. Girl, I have my own business now.
Come on.
And I'm painting. My murals one of my murals was like in the Smithsonian.
Don't say it. Don't whisper it. Say it loud and proud. Hold on. In the Smithsonian. That's what we got on the Pruned Tree.
Like, what?
You better stop playing with me.
Look.
Come on. Look at God.
So
look at God. When you will over to God, when you will over to Creator, the one that is the master of your universe, when you go to manifest, even when you're going through the pruning, even when you're going through the struggles and the pain and the trial, there is still victory on the other side. There has to be.
Yes, I feel like this always is.
It took you 6 years.
Girl, I don't even, I did went through I had a lot happened. I got a divorce, and I had moved all my kids to the farm. Started over, but that's okay. Okay. And then I started, got into skincare and started my own business.
Yes. That woman entrepreneur spirit kicked in. Yeah. What mommies do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I felt it's important to show my girls how you handle business.
Let's talk about the fruit of your womb. And then we're going to end on that, because that's what brought us together, was the ability to heal with our vision and our artistic skills, me having the creative eye, spitting it to you translating it on a canvas. Talk about the fruit of your womb, your children.
Oh, they're beautiful. They're very artistic. Right now, they're two of them are on a road trip. They went to the salt flats in Utah.
Okay.
One of my kids has been to 9 countries.
Wow.
And when I was going through all that, she was in first grade. And now she's 24.
Now she's 24.
Mm-hmm.
Ashe Queen, you came back.
Yes.
You came back with an assignment, understanding your assignment.
Yeah, my oldest one, she I'm so glad God let me live to take care of them. Because my oldest one, she graduated, she got a scholarship to UOP and graduated. The second one got a full ride scholarship to Stanford, and she's in her junior. Third one got a full ride scholarship to UC Berkeley. Stop
playing with me. You spitting out geniuses. In high school. Stop.
I think we get it from my mom.
No, listen, the ancestral bloodline is blessed and highly favored. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. It's all love, right? You went through that pruning. And this is what this podcast is about. I'm bringing to you change makers that are really doing the work, and they're the subtle change makers that I love to uplift on the Pruned Tree. That's who we are. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, sister.
I love you.
I love you too.
I still got the church community announcements. Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Now, I don't know where my phone went. Do you see my phone? Okay, I'm talking to my backstage. I do know that, first of all, happy Mother's Day to you mamas. If you call yourself a baby mama, if you call yourself a wife, you call yourself a partner, if you call yourself many names, mommy dearest, happy belated Mother's Day. And really in my feminine energy right now, we're creating, we're moving and shaking, and we're dealing with individuals who are supporting the movement. Okay. So I want to talk about the community hike that we got going. And I'm also going to be talking about a summer camp for kids. So listen, I got 30 seats. We sponsor RSSC, partnered with Lakeisha Little Shaw. Hey. Did you catch her crazy podcast?
I didn't see the whole thing. I was just looking at it thinking,
girl, catch that podcast. She done brought me some church lap scarves. and told me to. And my dress is long enough, but that's an inside joke for you, feminists, because you know I'm a feminist too. But there's a way that we're reared in the church. You don't be showing your hoo-ha. You put that lap skirt over there, and you act like you got some class, and you was raised. You know how to a good church lady, aunties, grandmamas do. Anyway, she brought that on, and it was so much shade. It was like auntie shade from the cool auntie. Oh, yes. And you know how she getting on the other cool auntie? It was like that vibe. It was funny. Okay, so we have limited seating. We're providing transportation. We're going to be doing a mental health awareness hike here May 19, 2024. If you don't have a car, can't drive your car, don't have the financial means for gas, or any other reason that would prevent you from attending, I want you to call 209-955-9181. This is being sponsored in partnership with Health Plan of San Joaquin, Shaw for Community, 209 Hikes, and Reinvent South Stockton Coalition. As a mental health coach, a specialist, trauma-informed specialist, I will be leading a mindfulness training that will be happening on the hike. We're going to teach you how to be mindfulness in the woods. No, a lot of y'all don't like working in the woods, working on yourself. You're trying to degress. I'm going to teach you how to be mindful, how to unplug from this here internet, listen to nature, look at the sounds, and really use all of your five senses on the trail. We're also going to be encouraging that you bring your water and drink really light. Again, you can call 209-955-9181, where we're going to be transporting those individuals that need help getting there to the regional lake. We're going to Lake Chabot. Nice. So we're going to walk that thing. You feel me?
How fun.
Yeah, 30. We're taking the most marginalized people who cannot get there on their own to experience outside nature. And so I do support Shaw for Community and 209 Hikes. Follow them on Instagram or Facebook at 209 Hikes. They have a hiking Facebook group, and also Shaw for Community. And shout out to Lakeisha Little Shaw. All right. We have a free STEM summer camp coming up Monday, June 10th. Also Friday, July 12th. So it looks like it's probably going to be going on for a month. Students will explore STEM and the great outdoors. Must register by May 31st. Link in the bio to save a spot. So this is going to be presented by the Table Community Foundation, the Merlot Gym Community Center, and that's 2044 Fair Street, Stockton, California, 95206. That is in the big building in the back, they said. And so that is in concert with Merlot Gym. They're going to be diving into the wonders of nature, unleashing their creativity through exciting arts and crafts, engage in STEM activities through edible science experiments, master practical outdoor survival skills. You know, these kids coming on the screen team
have so much fun.
They need to know about their survival skills. Half of y'all don't know what to do in camping. For real. If something happened, y'all don't know how to start a fire. Right? They don't know how to start no fire. 2 rocks. I don't even want to know why you know how to start a fire, Tia, you being an artist. But you from the farm.
I'm from the farm, girl. Okay. I know how to do a lot of weird stuff.
Embrace health and wellness through sports and nutrition. So I will have this on here. They have the full schedule on here as well. Parents can drop off at 7:30 to 8 o'clock, and then they can pick up from 2:30 to 2:55. So if you're like a working mom like me who's single, who need a cool free spot for your kids to go this summer, please start enrolling them now. There's a lot of programs around the city. I will be dropping information. We got so much coming up on the summertime, girl.
People need to know.
People need to know.
Get the word out.
We got to support the movement. And y'all always talking about y'all want entertainment to come to Stockton. We got to support those little things, those little events and activities. So I'm so grateful. Thank you. You have joined the Pruned Tree Podcast. I am host RebelRae, and I'm your hostess with the mostest. I had so
the most. Thank you, RebelRae. I love you.
I just want to be myself.
You got it.
I do. I got it.
That good energy.
That good energy.
Yes.
Ashe.
I'll take it. Give it to
Let's
me.
give it to me. So let's feed each other. Higher conscious, y'all. Peace.
Peace. Thank you. Thanks for having me.